He is a transformation architect and AI solutions builder, leading platform work and decision, Mr. Rama Mohan KV.
One of the major thing at that point of time we thought was there is a tool, but the tool should listen to us. So we actually customized it 85%. Okay. So we were one of the top 100 companies, first 100 companies to have implemented an ERP.
What are the first three bricks you lay every single time, which might be the ones which most leaders often skip?
That's one of the major thing. We want to prove ourselves very fast. That is where a lot of mistakes are made.
Hello everyone and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Today we're stepping into the high stakes world of enterprise transformation in the age of AI, where prototypes meet P&L, algorithms meet accountability, and decisions get redesigned for measurable business impact. Our guest has spent 32 plus years building from zero to scale, from manufacturing roles to banking ops, from Infosys leadership to Silicon Valley's AI ML ecosystem. He's built 500 plus person practices, engineered $50 million plus bottom line impact, and now designs AI powered decision solutions that cut costs, lift margins, and delight customers. Currently, he is a transformation architect and AI solutions builder, leading platform work and decision transformation in Silicon Valley while helming two complementary consulting ventures focused on strategy and capability building. Mr. Rama Mohan KV, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. How are you today, sir?
Good. I'm doing good, Tanay. How are you doing?
Very good, sir. Lovely, sir. So let's start with our
Yeah.
first question, which is we would love to know about your journey a little bit more, sir, in your own words. Maybe one or two moments that really shaped you, a challenge you had to overcome, and one decision you still look back on with pride.
Yeah. See, one of the major decisions that I look on pride, let me start with that because that was beginning of my career as well. So I as I got out of my MTech, I had quite a few job placements through campus, and one of the choice was between manufacturing and IT. So my heart was telling get into manufacturing. There was a lot of social pressure to get into IT. Okay, so finally, what I chose was I decided to get into manufacturing. So sometime luck also plays a significant role. Though I went to join this IT company, but then I decided to move on to manufacturing quickly, and that was one of the best decisions that I have taken in my life. Reason is that shaped my career, and that was a time when the lot of change in the country was happening. This was in 1993 when there were a lot of policy changes and all were happening. I had a real opportunity to shape organizations from scratch, build a lot of change management, which was required in a heavily union based company, and then take it towards the transformation. So that really shaped my entire career, in addition to teaching me what transformation really means. So that was my journey. And after 10 years into manufacturing, I could become adaptable, that I could shift to services without any issue. I could easily make my movement into services, and lot of learnings that I had from manufacturing, I could bring it to services. And I have moved. Eventually, I moved to IT, but then this foundation of manufacturing has really shaped me well to bring a lot of practices in IT. So therefore, that is the most important moment in my life and a decision that I have taken, Tanay.
Yeah, and initially, if you work on something that really builds a very strong base, I feel in your career
Right.
to,
Right.
later on work on that and improve on
Right.
that.
Right. And also the other thing is this IT is for whom? It is for for our industries like
Correct.
manufacturing, industries like banking and all. Working in the core will help you to really shape right solutions. We know the practicality on the ground rather
Yeah.
than becoming only theoretical in
Yeah.
this thing. So that's the most important thing. I always feel proud of.
Absolutely. So you've built AI products and enterprise scale transformation programs. What's one thing building AI platforms taught you that changed how you run large transformations, and one thing running large transformations taught you that changed how you build AI?
So one of the major things about AI is, I think, I always believe process first, tools next. Okay. So this is one of the major learnings. So there is always eagerness to bring, tools into place. But what I have realized and learned is that in any of these kind of transformation, whether it is AI or whether it is IT transformation or anything, which I underwent so many of them. So I'll give you a quick thing, how I learned, okay, that will give you a broad perspective of the transformation which I'm talking about. In the manufacturing company where I worked, which I said already, it was a heavily unionized place. We went for implementing a SAP, not SAP, Oracle platform. Okay, so I was there right from beginning to select it and implement it and all that. One of the major thing at that point of time we thought was there is a tool, but the tool should listen to us. So we actually customized it 85%. Okay, so we were one of the top 100 companies, first 100 companies to have implemented an ERP, and we have customized it to 85%. So now, if I look back, it is such a foolish step that we have taken. But that's how we went about. The reason was we were not willing to uh, take up the change management and change the way the blue collar people work, etc., which is important for bringing at least configuration more than customization into the platform. Whereas I moved to another plant of ours. We were just taken over by another company, one of our customers, which we were in printed circuit boards one, which is a German company. What they said is that you first change your process. They changed the process globally. And they said, whoever first implements this process will get the ERP. So then in the first stage, what happened was because of this customization, I used to end up spending more than 20 days a month to reconcile inventory. Whereas in the second case, we were able to make sure that the inventory is reconciled within a day's time. So what it taught me is that process is first, tools is next. So one of the major transformations, one is I talk about process. The second one is change, people. It is all about people. Without educating people, without getting people involved in it, you cannot drive any large transformation. That's another thing which again I learned. And then also, how do we drive that transformation? Again, I can give you an example. In my first manufacturing company, we wanted to implement, as I said, the transformation was just to begin. So we wanted to implement fires housekeeping. When we started to implement that fires housekeeping, we thought, we being all educated, qualified, and management people. So we thought we can teach everybody. So when we went and started to train, one of the worker got up and he said, "ये तो हम भी बता सकते हैं. आप क्या सिखा रहे हो हमको?" Kind of a thing. So then what we did is we took that as an opportunity and said, the first big mistake we are making is that we are not considering them as a part of our this thing. So immediately what we did is we said, how many of you feel that you can train among the workmen? So we trained a pool of 20 people, and we got everybody in the organization, including management and workmen, trained by this set of people. So involving people is another major important thing, is what I learned from a change perspective. The third one is the speed. We always want to run, but all these transformations really require some amount of time. We need to give that time. Okay, of course, it should not be too long, but whatever time it deserves, we need to give that particular thing. So these are the three learnings which I have got from the transformation. Same thing is applicable. Today, I see that even in AI, the same thing is applicable because, couple of things we have done in AI in a hurry. We thought, we can do something which others are taking 1 year. I'll take 3 months to do it. We committed, but, we end up, having different conversations with the customers. So then we learned, so this is not the way we should be doing. We worked with the customer to give definitely a optimistic timeline, okay, but not very pessimistic, optimistic timeline, stick to that particular thing. So that's one of the major thing which we.
Yeah, and technology has a great amount of feedback, I guess, that makes you realize what it is best for you because it is
Correct,
so
correct.
flexible, can be changed in so many ways.
Yeah, the other important thing also, Tanay, is a very good point which you brought about this feedback. So one of the thing which again we learned is that don't implement it full scale. No, go by fail fast, fail early mechanism. So
Correct.
engage your stakeholders at every stage
Yeah.
and get the feedback continuously. You have to fail, you fail early, correct it, go to a stage where the system is stabilized, then you go for the full scale. That's another major learning which we have learned through
Yep.
implementation.
So, from automation frameworks to analytics dashboards and AI add-ons, technology is everywhere. So,
Absolutely.
according to you, where do leaders go wrong, and how do you make sure tech improves outcomes instead of just adding complexity?
See, the one of the places where I see leaders as a whole going wrong in this particular thing is number one is that do not implement because somebody else is implementing. My neighbor got something. This is the old Onida thing of no neighbors and my owner's pride is not valid in this case. You should have your own assessment of what is applicable for you, how much is applicable, and where do you apply this. For example, I have seen in my consulting this one, some of the organizations have gone for RPAs. The money they have paid for RPA and the utilization they are getting from this particular thing versus the return they are getting, if you see, probably even if they double the employees there, probably it would have been cheaper and return would have been better. The reason is you want to test out something because you want to show that I am implementing something which is technology, tools, and all. I need to look good in front of everyone else. We sometimes take that, but what happens is that right choices are not made in terms of the AI tools and the where I need to apply, how I need to apply. So one of the thing which we did, when I was part of IT company, okay, we actually we set up a business process management arm, and in the business process arm, management arm, it was all about cost arbitrage to begin with. I'm talking of almost 20 years back. Okay, it was more of cost arbitrage. So one of the frameworks of transformation we brought in is people come to us because we are cheaper. So we used to say, do it cheaper. People want to see that we are better than what it used to be done in the customer's place. So do it better. Then the third one is that people want to see what improvements I'm making to this particular thing. So, do it differently. Okay. That means you change, re-engineer your process and all that stuff. And then fourth is, can I eliminate the work in the sense that can I automate it? So we brought the whole stage of, do it cheaper, do it better, do it different, and eliminate work. And honestly, that has worked. That has worked because we were pretty much very, very early in the whole game for automation. There was no customer was not willing to take that at that point in time. But unless we start this journey now, in next 5 years time we are not ready. So we took this journey, we used to push it, but then these are the stages we need to go. One of the major things which I always felt leaders need to do in terms of building this kind of transformations or driving AI and all that, have your own framework how you want to implement it. Do a proper readiness, get the right people involved, get them rightly trained in this particular thing, let them experiment, let them fail, and then learn through this particular process, because all this what you are doing now in terms of AI is building for future, not for today. So that is how we need to look at it.
Yeah, long term perspective always
Long
helps,
term
especially in
perspective
technology.
versus
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sir, you built a transformation practice from scratch to 500 plus specialists. What are the
Yes.
first three bricks you lay every single time, which might be the ones which most leaders often skip?
Yeah, see, one of the thing I'll tell you, the major problem when this was at one the BPM companies, one of the largest BPM companies, where we had a challenge of getting people. So if you look at it, everybody wants people from the same industry. Everybody wants people with an experience of driving these kind of things for multiple years. Okay. But the industry itself is 5 years or 10 years. So you don't have people. So the challenge was, how do we get people? So one of the major thing to build a specialized, what I have done is that by then the proven industry was manufacturing industry. So I had to get people from manufacturing. So I told my management that I will get people from manufacturing. But then the issue of culture, mixing with culture and all. So then I said, let me do one thing. I will get them, but I will train them. Okay, I will train them, and I put a 3 month to 1 year program to train them thoroughly. Okay, mind you, this is in a BPM where attrition is expected to be very high, right? So I even don't know whether the guy who am I getting will be there for a long time, will get trained and then go, right? But I can tell you, uh, Tanay, the way we went about and built that, that's even today, the people, the first rung foundation people who I have brought are still there in the organization. And probably one of the rare companies where we have introduced this particular function, the transformation function, 20 years back. And incidentally, one of the best practice that I brought from manufacturing was November month happens to be a quality month, in the sense that everyone celebrates quality, strategizes, and a lot of accomplishments are shared, and all that, a lot of things happen. So I brought that, and I can tell you there are 5 to 6 CEOs changed. There are about many leaders in the transformation change, but this event is going bigger and bigger and bigger for the past 20 years. Now it is run across 65 countries, and you know without any break, and more than 40 to 50,000 people participating every year for a whole month. People wait for it, showcase what they have done, learn from others, and all that. So these are the type of foundations which will help in terms of driving the transformation. That is one. The second one is building systems and practices. Actually, I was fortunate to be part of a model called e-sourcing capability model along with the Carnegie Mellon University. So we were one of the companies which got the first level 4 certification. That is the maximum that is given the first time. While that particular thing has helped us to lay the foundation from a practices point of view. So building these practices and culture and having a framework of transformation and training everybody in the organization, of course, along with that, certain goals for everybody that, every business unit, okay, that you need to show some improvement, X percentage improvement year on year in terms of transformation. Setting all these things has laid a very solid foundation for the transformation. And other important thing is, all this is good, but unless this is accepted by your customers, it will not be a good one, right? So what we have done is that we made this particular thing as a part of every customer presentation. Not a single customer, while we used to have 2 to 3 customers in a given day, were left without seeing our transformation journey and giving feedback that helped us to shape it, and also basically give its lot of building a brand of transformation for the company actually.
Because it's, I guess, a very well-rounded approach,
Yeah,
looking at it from all directions.
correct. Looking at it from all directions, because you need systems, you need culture, you need people, you need technology, you need customers who
Yeah,
accept it. Right?
absolutely.
So covering all these things is important. So much so that we have actually acquired one of another very large companies and we rebadged. One of the differentiator was our transformation for that particular company to basically select us.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Now time for our rapid fire round.
Sure.
Some quick questions, and the only thing we request you are some quick answers. So, are you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Lovely. What's the first thing you do on a Monday morning before opening your laptop?
I'll think of what I need to do in this week.
Yeah. A movie you watched more times than you'd like to admit.
See, generally, I'm not a big movie this one. So I don't remember watching a movie multiple times actually.
Okay. One habit that always keeps you grounded no matter how hectic the work gets.
See, one is I have a lot of empathy, so I understand it from others people point of view.
Yeah.
Many a times, whether people like it, dislike it, but that's how I always think it from the other person's point of view. I don't come to a judgment very fast.
So, if you weren't in business and tech, what completely different career might you have chosen?
See, I always choose business, but with technology as the enabler.
Yeah.
Technology in itself is not a business. Technology has to be a business enabler for a particular business, is how I look at it right from my beginning of career, actually.
Okay. A piece of advice you once ignored and later realized that this absolutely made sense.
See, one of the piece of advice, maybe a little slightly longer answer I'll give you
Yeah, no
because it's
problem.
very important and pertinent in today's world.
Yeah.
I had a guru. Okay, I may not be able to name the companies, but I can name the person. One, Mr. George Stephanos, okay, to whom I owe a lot in terms of my learning and all. So once I was just joined with my MTech from one of the premier institutes in the company, carrying some bit of arrogance at that time, that we know everything kind of a thing. So when I joined, so one of my bosses was going to evaluate a company. Okay. So I said, I can also come. So then my boss told me, no, George will not allow you. I said, why? I can do better than you because I'm more qualified than you in terms of this particular thing. So why I can't come? So he couldn't accept, this. So he said, okay, I'll talk to George and come back. He talked to George and he came back and he said, no, no going. So I was a bit disturbed. Okay. So then later, this required some training. Okay. So then, but get me trained, get me certified is what I said. So that for that, George said, no, not now. For everything, there is a time. So after 6 months, he got me trained. Okay. So then I asked George, why did you get me trained now? It's only 6 months since you told me that, I don't have anything. He said, look, you have to listen to what I say. Okay, why I'm getting you trained now is because you have implemented something. So when you go and attend the workshops, you will understand what they're talking. Otherwise, you don't know what they're talking. So now, because you have practiced something, you know what they're talking. Then after 6 months, he sent me for assessment. This was to do with one of the large certifications and models that we built. Okay. So then I told him, again, 6 months you are sending me. You told me I don't have enough experience. He said, boss, listen, now you have implemented, you got certified, you got awarded. So people will listen to you. Otherwise, they will see 1 year experience of you. Now they're not seeing 1 year experience on you. They're seeing 30 years of the company background in you. And more importantly, what company has accomplished. So they want to emulate that. That's why they are giving you respect, not because of anything else. So that literally made me think that so true. So true that, it is the company background and what I have done is reflected in this one rather than thinking that I know everything. So I think that is one of the biggest learning I had, and in fact, this is one grounded reality which I keep telling every youngster that this is what you need to follow.
Yeah. So, what's your comfort food after a long, tough week?
My comfort food is having some idli dosa kind of a thing.
Lovely.
That's the or some fruits. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing much.
A work rule you quietly love breaking.
Meetings.
Yeah.
The far too many meetings. I
Sometimes,
keep
yes.
I keep asking. If we have people in the meeting, if there is either they should be uh, contributing to it, either by listening or adding talking in terms of
Yeah.
giving ideas, etc. Otherwise, sometimes just because you need to have somebody in meeting, we need not. I actually don't go for such meetings where I don't add value or it doesn't add value to me.
Yeah.
So that's one which I would like
Yeah,
definitely break.
totally makes sense. So, who's the one historical or fictional character you'd love to have a long dinner conversation with, dead or alive?
See, I don't go by the historic character, but there were very good mentors I had in my life. So one such mentor is one Mr. Bhatnagar, who was another person who shaped my life. I wouldn't say career; it's life itself I'm talking about. So he is the one with whom I would love to spend. I mean, even today we do it, but I would love to spend more time, and because there are a lot of things to learn from him
Yeah,
in a and he has got so much of exposure in terms of multiple countries, etc. So I keep learning all those things from him. So therefore, he is one person with whom I would like to.
lovely. And finally, if someone made a film about your life, what could the title be?
That see, I honestly I don't think I'm still that big that somebody can make a movie of me. Okay, so I mean, I don't even think about that particular thing at this stage.
Anything, if anything comes to the top of your head, if you had to put it into
Yeah,
words.
see, what happens is where I get fully recognized by many people wherever I go.
Yeah,
Okay, is for two reasons. When my college classmates, when they meet me, they respect me for one thing. That is, I used to do my assignments faster than them, and they used to all copy from me. So they call me as the guru for them. So that is one. Or when you look at in industry, one of the thing which I have been extremely uh, heavy on contributing was on the quality and operation side of it. So many of them consider me as a guru for quality.
lovely.
So I can give you one, if time
Yeah,
permits, I can
yeah,
give you
yeah.
one narrative. In fact, when I was with the company called Indal, okay, here I can name this company, Indal. um, in 90s, Business Today used to come with an article, with a magazine every year in the month of January, February, kind of a thing, covering on one topic and case studies about many companies. So that year happens to be on quality, and they covered on Indal. And we were in factory, and our plant was covered, and I was the one who was anchoring. And I told you already that it's a heavily unionized plant. When these guys, the reporters, wanted to take pictures and this one, so the union leader said, "We will not take the picture unless our guru comes." So only when I came there, they took that particular picture, and we all appeared in the magazines and all. But the reason why that happened was for the incident which I talked about, the training one, where we got workers also to train them. So they respect us for that particular thing. And then they got uh, they 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 waited for us to come, and all that happened in a way that we had a event where everyone were getting recognized, and our managing director, we all stood in the line like normally, like anybody else. So then somebody told, "It is Ram here." So then immediately the managing director of that company at that time, Mr. Tapan Mitra, he called me back and he said, "Son, I heard a lot of good things about you. Don't leave us." And he took a tie, which he was wearing, and he put it on me in front of a large gathering. So if you really look at it, this is how people tend to look at it because of the approach they take and all
Yeah.
that. I don't know what is the name it to
No
be,
problem,
but
no
then,
problem, sir.
yeah, that's the,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so that gets us to the end of the rapid fire round. Now, on to the slightly more serious questions.
sure.
So, over the last decades, we've seen our share of major corporate missteps, accounting scandals, governance failures, or transformation projects that promised the world but fell apart due to poor oversight. From your perspective, having worked across manufacturing, banking, IT, and AI driven enterprises, what do you think these scandals teach us about governance, ethics, and accountability?
Yeah, see, one of the most important thing is we have to respect the governance first. Okay. The second thing is the values have to be shown and driven from the top. No, if at any point of time, if any leader gives some leeway that, yes, you can take this particular thing, you know, which can lead to a wrong practice, then it is doomed. Okay. I'll give you a simple example how I learned this particular thing. Again, this manufacturing company had some practices where people used to come and give gifts, vendors used to come and gifts to everybody. It was rampant. If it is Diwali, everywhere in the factory, people were coming. Our works manager, Mr. Arun Pawar, he came and he said, I'm putting an end to this. Nobody can enter into the premises, and it strictly told security. And that's it. That stopped. For many years, there was no gift happening in the factory premises. So this is a simple thing, but for everything, you have to give that particular importance. The moment you say, for example, the other thing is for governance. Let's say, we used to have a leader. If you have to choose between, let us say, operational profit meeting, the other one is the compliance meeting. So he used to choose giving it to compliance. So then what you are telling is that this will anyway happen, the profit. But what is important for me is this compliance. So I think, if we can build the leaders in a manner that they start respecting the governance and not allowing any shortcuts, then I think, things will be very different. And that's one of the major things. We want to prove ourselves very fast. That is where a lot of
Yeah,
mistakes are made.
yeah, very well said, sir. So you've been associated with Directors Institute. We would love to know what drew you to the institute, and how has that experience shaped the way you think about leadership, decision making, and boardroom governance in this new era, especially with AI, data, and transformation moving faster than ever.
Yeah. So one of the major things is, see, I actually stepped out of my corporate role after 25 years of my corporate career, um, in various roles. The one of the purpose was basically, how can I add more value to more companies? Okay, because what I have seen is that as I grow in the corporate, it is more and more of lot of administration roles take up. And I thought, I still have a lot of other things like technical expertise and solution expertise, transformation expertise, which can bring to multiple corporations. That's how I moved on. It's a very bold step because every day, 30th of the month, you are getting your salary credited. But, I had to take this particular decision. Now, after moving there, I had a very good. So still now, I had been having a fairly decent run, and it's a good run in terms of I worked with Ola. I worked with the one of the companies, life sciences CRO companies called Aragen Life Sciences. There are multiple companies which I now work with. Okay, so one of the most important thing in all these particular things is how do we adapt ourselves is the most important thing. How do we adapt ourselves is the most important. I have been more adaptive, but what I learned is to be more and more and more adaptive with this particular thing. And the other aspect is to give away some of the things, like, I have been in in a very senior role where everybody is queuing up to meet you and all that. Now you have to do the reverse of it. Okay. Maybe with the people who worked with you earlier. Okay. So all these things are the learnings which we will have when we start to look at this particular uh, transitions that we make. But having chosen that particular thing, I think, uh, what I have decided is that let me continue with this. Okay. And one of the thing which I realized is probably I can still do what I am doing, but some uh, professional qualification and some professional network and a professional guidance is required for me to take up a right place to guide. Okay. So now where I can guide is at the board level. Right? I can guide the entrepreneurs who are now starting their journey, the newer, younger generation of leaders that are coming. But to them, how do I approach? How do I make myself more visible? Okay. And one is that. The second thing is that what kind of competence I need to build also in terms of meeting them. That's when I came across Institute of Directors. So then I thought, okay, let me get this particular qualification and the process of getting certified to various things, and then uh, also be part of that particular network and alumnus that we get right positions. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing, Tanay.
Lovely, sir. Thank you so much for those kind words and for this conversation, which was full of insights, honesty, and some storytelling magic because you've turned transformation into something real, relatable, and even a little entertaining. So, thank you so much for that, sir.
Thank you, Tanay.
To everyone tuning in, if today's talk made you rethink about how you lead, measure, or decide, that's the transformation already beginning. I'm Taneol, and this has been FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, keep building what matters, and of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.